I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold Derby, here with from star Harold Perrineau. Harold, mate, I am so completely blown away by this show. You know, like Tom Cruise on Oprah Winfrey's couch when he's jumping up and down, and that's how I
Right.
feel about Tom. Okay, um, I
Are you
love
gonna
it.
jump up and down on the couch right
I was
now? Or
thinking about it. I've got a bad back. I won't do it this one time. Uh, I was just
Hey,
wondering.
before
So
you go on any further, I just want to say thank you. You've been so supportive online, and like you've just been like one of those people who's been in our family and like supporting us and talking about the show. And I just want to say before we get going, thank you, thank you, thank you.
that's really nice of you to say, and it all comes from it's all genuine. I just, when you just love a show so much, you want everybody to share with, share this amazing show that I think more people need to discover. But I think we'll get into that.
We'll get
So I'm wondering what attracted you to the story from the beginning when you were going to sign up. Why did you want to be part of this?
Well, first of all, the script is really, really great. So that's number one. Number two, I knew that Jack Bender and Jeff Pinkner really, really knew how to handle this kind of material where there's a mystery and things going on, but they knew how to make the stories really about human beings, and that I thought that was really cool. And the big thing that really kind of captured me is that we were still in the pandemic at the time, and this idea of people trying to decide how they were going to live, and one town was going to live by rules and one town was going to live like it's their last day on earth, and there was some invisible monster out there attacking people. It all just made absolute sense to me. It seemed so immediate and relevant to the times we were living in, and I just wanted to be part of something that would entertain us in that way. You know what I mean? And not even so we don't actually have to think about the fact that we're stuck in the house, but we are stuck in the house. And I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that kind of a show, and I think that's what we've achieved.
That's a really good point. Never really thought of it that way, but yes, it makes total sense. And I think that I feel like awareness and excitement around this show has really shifted this season. Like
Yeah.
it's captured the imagination of a growing audience of diehard fans who are all posting their theories on social media. Have you sensed the show's growing popularity?
I really have, and it's starting to like people in the streets are even like, oh my god, I'm watching From all the time, and like that's like I get a lot of things from lots of different things from Lost or Romeo and Juliet, but lately it's been a steady stream of people who are like, I love From. If they kill Boyd, I'm gonna be mad. Like I can't control that, but yeah, I have noticed it, and it's been really exciting to see that it's really getting into people's homes, and they're really digging it.
Yeah, and then speaking of killing off characters, that's the thing with this show. You never really know every episode people are going to get killed off. Like these producers are not mucking around. Like that's the stakes are high. I'm worried. Like it's a real problem.
It really is. But that's what makes it really like, look, you can really, really engage. You can fall in love with a character. You get really emotionally attached, and they're just like, yeah, we don't care. So
Sorry, too bad.
we're trying to hurt your feelings. So that's
You
what they
really
do.
are hurting our feelings. And like by the time that this interview streams, the finale will have aired. So we know, like, poor Jim, throat gets slashed, and I'm just like, what? I thought he was one of the main characters. And now he's
He is one of the main characters. There's no safety. He really is one of I mean, the whole thing kicks off when he and his family show up in the town. Up until then, we had a board like, we've had no incidents, and they show up and it all just goes away. So
that's a very, very good point. We have to keep that in mind. I think that should be one of the theories that there's a connection with this family, Tabitha. Who is she?
yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get into that. Now, the hardest part about a show like this is standing out in a crowded marketplace because there's so many amazing shows, right? There's heaps.
Right.
And I think it's really important that season three has really hit its stride. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is very rare that all the
Right.
critics love it. Is cast and crew aware of how critically acclaimed the show has become? Because the critics are now really behind it as well.
I'll tell you, I think everybody really is. Number one, we're all out there and from the first season, and especially after like the audiences really took us in, we have all been out there like working really, really hard to like make sure we make the best show that we can. And so it's been a little frustrating that more people hadn't been watching it. But the one thing that we all feel really, really assured by is that the critics, every time somebody comes and sees it, they're like, "Hey, this show is great." They give us so much praise and so much, they just give us so much credit for all the kind of work that we're doing. The actors, the directors, the production staff, like everybody. And so everybody's really, really aware of it, and so keenly aware of it that we keep going like, more audience, please. Because you're right. There's just so many shows out there, so many streamers and good shows, not even like, just nonsense shows. There are really great shows out there. So we know that we have stiff competition, but I think we're holding our own. But yeah, the critics have been really, really helpful for us, for our egos.
And that's really all that matters. Let's
That's all we care about.
Stroke the but like, no, it does help. And I think like, and this is no disrespect to MGM Plus, because they're just doing such an amazing job trying to get the word out about their content. But if this was on Netflix or HBO, for example, it would be
right.
a humongous blockbuster. It's just, we're just going to get eyeballs onto it. And that's
right.
the reason why we're obviously we're having this chat as well.
Exactly.
Stephen King, he's been tweeting about it, saying how great the show is. So let's listen to the horror master. Okay.
Right. Let's all just listen to the horror master.
Exactly. If he's telling us to watch the damn show, then we've got to watch the damn show. So let's talk about the Frommerly, because you referred to it at the beginning. What does it mean to you to be able to interact with the show's fans on social media?
That's been it's been really enjoyable and exciting for me, like to have. Like, I know there are people who clamor because of all the other kind of shows that are out there. They want to drop all the episodes right at once. But I'm loving it. We drop once a week. Everybody gets to talk about it. I said it before to somebody else. It feels a little bit like a flirtation, like a little bit of foreplay. Like each week we just start talking about what could happen next week, and then next week, bam, something else crazy happens. And so I'm having a really good time with it. And to me, the best way to watch the show is to watch it with other people, because some people are so funny. I mean, because the show is so scary and, all the time, that we have some responses that are hysterical. And so, when you amass a big family like we have, people are just making comments from all over the place, and that like keeps it going. And I love every second of it. That's why, like, every week I'm like, yep, let's get on and start talking about it. We'll be on Blue Sky or Twitter, X, I don't know what to call it, whatever we're on. We're talking about it on Instagram. And that is, it's really important to me. And everybody's become really, we've all become sort of it's a real relationship, like not just, a relationship. You watch my show, and like we're actively interacting. And so, I dig it. I haven't done that ever before. And so I'm really enjoying every bit of it.
Yeah, I really look forward to it as well. I actively look out for your tweets or blue sky posts, whatever we call them these days. Yeah. And just to see what people are saying usually puts such a big smile on my face. Like, this is all part of this journey. But I must say, get the weekly drop, and I think that's really helped the show build its audience. But it really pisses me off sometimes. I'm just like, now I've got to wait a week. Really? Come on, man. Look, let's get on with it. But no,
I know it really pissed me off, and I love that response. That means you're in. You really want to know. So I know it feels frustrating, and I'm sorry, but like we get to talk about it every week, and then like this is the last week, and then it'll all be there, and then you can go watch them all again and be like, oh, yeah, right. Like, I mean, the whole thing for me is really fun. It's so fun.
Then we've got to, like, speaking of, then we've got to, I don't know how long we're going to wait, but are we going to get an announcement about season 4 or what? Like, what's happening, man?
I'm pretty sure we are going to get one. I haven't gotten an announcement. Nobody's called me yet. But I would be heartbroken if we don't go back. I'm serious. Like, if we don't go back, it's going to, I'd be pretty devastated by that. I just think, I think we're all too invested right now. Like, I want to know what happens. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to know. I need to know what happens.
Yeah, I need to know what happens.
Yeah. I would feel like somebody broke up with me in a terrible way.
Text like it's not you, it's not me, it's you. That would be the so like I can't imagine it's not going to happen. I just think, you know, MGM's being smart about like, let's just tease this out and wait for the finale. It's been a huge success. They'd be crazy not to. So
yeah, and this third season has been so, whew, so relentless. And yeah, it's just been, you know, it's either like attacking you like right away with all the stuff with tension, or it's like dropping these little things that make you go like, wait, is she the mom, or did they, like, it's just so, all of these things are just attacking you all season long. It's been really good.
It's interesting. Like, we think as the audience, oh, we're so smart and I figured it out. The creators and the producers know exactly what they're doing. Okay.
Exactly.
And it's just so interesting that they've really been just kind of giving us the breadcrumbs, and we've been feeding off those breadcrumbs. And by the finale, I feel like we got some pretty good answers, like, you know, about Tabitha and all that stuff.
Right.
So I'm feeling good. Season 1, I'm like, if these people don't give me answers soon, there's gonna have to be some conversation had.
A reckoning.
But we're finally getting some stuff to chew on, like real good news. So that's,
and you said this is going to be after the finale, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, great. Right. So yeah, we can then, so all that stuff that we get, like Smileys showing back up, like, he's what? they read. Yeah.
Kimono Demon Lady helped Fatima as her doula get this blob, took him to the cave. Smiley comes out. We see Smiley's ass, which is always a fun thing.
We get to see his ass. I didn't even think about that.
A bit of nudity. I don't think we get nudity on From very often, but we got it.
Don't. Yeah.
One of these monsters is naked, so we can see they're actually real.
We want to see their parts so they don't look like Barbie dolls, like, right?
I wanted him to turn around because I wanted to see what was going on down there. But anyway, like, he didn't get that. That's probably in the actor's contract. Great actor, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's back, and I was like, for about a minute. So yeah. What did you think of that?
I thought that was crazy when that's what the baby was. You know, all the stuff that she was going through, and I just want to know what Smiley is. What you know what I mean? Like, he got slashed, he got worms, he died, he came back again. What is all of this? What is it? I can't even. There's nothing in my brain. I don't have a science brain, so there's nothing in my brain that, like, I can connect to at all. Like, what is happening here? So
I know it's like, yeah. I mean, Boyd killed him, and so like the town or the evil force or whatever is like, no, he can't die.
No, exactly.
Oh, okay. So that's where we're at now. Like, we can't even kill motherfuckers. They have to stay.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. And so that's why. And we're gonna add new people.
And we're adding more people as well. And anyone could die at any moment. And so take your Xanax and watch the show and enjoy. Pretty much. So I want to go back to the beginning of season 3 though, because just speaking of your performance, like me, and I'm not blowing smoke. I really mean this. The whole sequence with Boyd and Tianjin, and then being captive and having to watch her being completely massacred by these things, and we're watching it from your perspective. Well, not from yours. We're watching you watch it. Right. I've seen some amazing performances that you've given over the years, but this is one of your best. Tell me more about that and how hard it was to get to that.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was really I appreciate that. That was really like, look, when I first read it, and I read that she was dying, I was like, wow, that's gonna be wild. I wonder how they're gonna shoot it. And then Jack Bender goes, here's what we're gonna do, kiddo. We're gonna like have her over there, and we're gonna put the camera on you, and we're gonna let it go. And I was like, time. Me?
Little old me? Yeah.
And so I just had to go back and that's when you have to sort of dig in there and put images in your brain that, you know, you don't want to be there forever. But you have to, it's why I like acting. It's why but it's also, pretty tricky. It's also pretty tricky. So some of those things that you put in your brain and then you just go through it, just let it happen. And that's, for me, that's the great part of it. And if I can let it happen, then I've gotten something out of it. And then therefore, hopefully the audience did too. Do you know what I mean? I've gone to a new place in my own self where I'm like, oh, I can allow this to be, and I don't have to be scared of it or anything like that. And so it was pretty wild shooting it. And we did a lot of takes. And so that he picked the ones that he picked was really, really cool. Yeah.
But I mean, I assume that it must mean that you feel so incredibly supported and safe to be
Yeah.
so exposed to that. At this age of your life, you've been around for decades, you've been working to really let go like that in front of a crew and cast, and then the world is a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So props to you, man. It was a really good performance.
Oh, thanks, man. And like you said, the thing about being supported, that's really like that crew there. I mean, professional. They let me go through whatever I needed to go through, like in that scene and the one in the next episode when we actually see her and what's happened. They just were like quiet and supportive and just there for me. If I had a hiccup, nobody complained. I was like, okay, let's go back and just support all the way through. That's why I fucking love those people. I really do. I really do.
Yeah, and and you can tell. And I just think by season 3 of any show, it starts to hit its stride, and you can tell because these people become a family, and everyone knows what they're doing, and the writers have really understood the assignment, and I think that's really happened. It really happened over this season. We go from that to the end because there's so much that we could talk about. Again, I could keep you here for hours, but I won't. But by the end, like the rules on From seem to have changed a bit. The sun is set on season 3. We have some answers. New questions have emerged. For example, shorter-haired Julie turns up and she's screaming, and then suddenly this guy in a yellow suit turns up and he's like, your wife shouldn't have dug that hole. And I'm like, who the hell is this? Who is he?
Right.
Clue who you probably do deep down, but you can't tell us, and I get that.
No, I actually don't have any clue. The only thing I do remember, and I can't. Here's what I don't remember totally, if it's in the opening, but I know that when Tabitha is at Henry's house and she's back in Maine, and you're looking at all those paintings, that guy in the yellow suit is there. Yeah, and he is, and I think, if I remember correctly, we've seen that guy in the yellow suit in previous seasons. It's really, really cool. And so, like, I don't know how long they've been planting a story, but I'm really wondering who he is and who else we're seeing in those paintings. Do you know what I mean? That little boy who keeps saying that he's the one who keeps saying that he's Tabitha and Jim's baby.
Thomas.
What's the baby's name? Thomas, right? Right, Thomas. Like when he talked on that last episode, he's like, "Where are you guys going?" Like, how does he know that? Yes. Where are they seeing from?
What is? Yeah. See, you're just blowing my. I mean,
yeah,
that's a lot. But when he turned, he's got these red eyes, and he was just like, "Slash, how dare you?" I'm like, okay,
bye. Yeah,
I can't anymore. But I will.
See, I should watch the show with you. That's what
I'll start live tweeting it as well. Like, look, I've got theories, but we'll go there in a minute, I think. So I wanted to talk about, how the critics love it, the fans love it. I've noticed, given that Gold Derby, we talk about awards a lot. That's what we do. I noticed generally at the Golden Globes, even at the Emmys, we've had a lot of recent genre breakthroughs like Severance and Lupin and The Last of Us. And the Golden Globes were the first ones to go for Gary Oldman in Slow Horses when no one had even really heard of that show. So I think like there is a shot here, if the voters are watching, that they may give this show some love, particularly yourself, and maybe and the show itself. And I know you don't do this for awards. That's not the purpose. but it would really help, I think, to get the word out if the awards actually gave it some support. What would that mean to you in the show if it started getting that kind of recognition?
Like it would actually feel it would feel fair. That's the best way I can say it, because there are lots of shows like Game of Thrones, a really great show. They got all, you know, all the awards and all the accolades. Severance, a great show, and I think Us as well. We're a great show, and so I think all of those, you know, any kind of notice that we get would feel fair. Feel like, you know, we really are working so that we can, the most people possible can enjoy the show. And so like I hope they come and give us a shot, and like, and don't, like, you know, not pay attention to us because of the name of the genre, because I think, you know, calling it horror, yeah, cool, but it's not a slasher like thing. It really is about the people, and it really is about the storytelling, and it's about so many things: the storytelling, the music, the color of the film, the way that Jack Bender puts people in a scene, like leaves a little, like all of that stuff is just beautiful work. And I would really feel vindicated, like in my thinking, that like when I'm watching things and I go like, oh man, that deserves an award, I would feel like, yeah, that's right, because that's what it feels. Our show feels like that to me, and so I hope they give us a shot, and like let's let other people come and check us out, because I really think it deserves it, and all around, not just me. Like I'm the last of it. Like there's so much great work happening there. John Griffin should get somebody talking about his writing, so we can all start anticipating his next show, whatever that is. You know what I mean?
Whatever
So,
that might help us. Might help us all.
yeah,
Whatever comes up with.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. And I really want to see it happen for the show because it deserves it. And
Thank you, brother.
I I know I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but over the years you have done some really impressive stuff. I remember when I was 17 years old, I saw Romeo and Juliet in the cinema. Can't remember. No, I don't know why I remember. Maybe because it was such an amazing film. I remember you as making a video. And ever since then, you've just been doing such amazing stuff, like on Oz. Even like my daughter knows you from The Rookie. Every Gen Z girl knows The Rookie, right? They love The Rookie. Of course, Lost. You know, I can't say the word Walt without thinking about you screaming it. Sons of
Exactly.
Anarchy, like it's a role that maybe you don't get enough credit for. And
Yeah.
of course, like, you know, the Matrix sequels, which were filmed in my hometown of Sydney. So
Oh, yeah.
over the years, you've done all this work, and I just feel like your awards shelf is maybe a little bit bare, and I think we need to add to that. So
let's let's see to the awards, guys.
upstairs.
Let's see what happens.
But
We all felt a little gypped at Romeo and Juliet. I'm not gonna lie. I think the
um,
only person who got nominated was Catherine Martin that year, which she
that's right.
deserved. And
Yeah,
she didn't win, but she certainly deserved to get nominated. But Baz should have been nominated. Pete Postlethwaite should have been nominated.
oh,
You know what I mean? Like this, yeah. There's
yeah,
just so much
yeah.
to it.
It was
So
such that was such an incredible film. I think, I mean, eventually Baz got his rewards with Moulin Rouge and all that, but Romeo
right,
and Juliet, what an amazing
yeah,
achievement. And I think you will always be remembered with all of your other work, but Mercutio is that something that was the first thing that comes to mind for me, and that was such a long time ago. Now that we're both, sorry to say, a bit older,
I mean,
a little bit
a bit
older,
wiser. That's okay. It's okay.
aging gracefully.
There you
All right.
go.
In the meantime, thank you so much for your time today. Congrats on
Thank you.
beautiful work in season 3, and I'm just gagging for season 4. Hurry up!
Hurry up, give us the notice. Let us know. Let's go back to work. That's what I'm looking for. Let's do it. And we should do more together, because I'd love to get this show shot and finished before Simon has like a mortgage payment. Because
Could we?
we don't want grown Ethan on the show.
That's what I'm also worried about. Like the little boy in white's going to come out and he's going to be like this with a beard, and
Did
like
you see him last time? And he's like,
yeah,
"Don't talk down the tree." We're like,
oh, like, oh, puberty hit. I have a 14-year-old son. I know it. In like 1 minute, he went from a little boy to a man. So it's like
exactly, exactly
that's how it works.
right.
But yeah,
So let's get the show shot.
we'll just watch the whole season again while we wait. So we'll be okay.
There, got it. Fantastic. Thanks, brother. Thank you so
All
much.
right.